It's puzzle time. We're going through the Laszlo Polgar Checkmate in 2 section. If I can place it in the center of the camera. All the best for space repetition are found in the book. We got 14 more puzzles, 7 quotes. You got 30 seconds to solve each one. Your time starts now. For this one, we gotta lead the king somewhere it doesn't want to go. We gotta dangle a carrot in its face. It has no choice but to take it. We've led him into a pin. So now the knight's no longer defending the square. We've removed the mate defender by using a tactic. Queen can come in, and we have our dovetail checkmate because it looks like a dove's tail. 657. We're building upon our epaulette mate here. There's an epaulette mate pattern here. Using the fact that this pawn is pinned, we can sacrifice the rook. Pawn must take, it is forced, and then the queen can come in and deliver the epaulette mate with a random pawn sitting here that's pinned. 658. There's 2 moves that look really good here. Bishop h6 and bishop f6. Bishop f6 is incorrect. Even though it looks good, you're x-ray defending the rook. It looks like maybe the king will take, and then you can come in for checkmate, taking advantage of the pin. But the rook can take, and there's no checkmate on the next move. So that's incorrect. It's trying to trick you there. You actually have to go bishop h6 because the rook is defended anyway, so the king can't take it. The only move is to lead the king down into the scope of our pin. We put him on a square he doesn't want to go to, so we can follow up with the queen for checkmate there. 659. We just have a lot of pressure on this square, and we have a rook that desperately wants to open up its scope. The bishop's helping restrict over here. We can play either our knights to g6 here. It doesn't matter which one. They take with the h-pawn in both scenarios, and then we can follow up with 2 moves actually. With that knight over there, the rook can come in as well for checkmate. But you also, of course, have knight to g6 here, taking advantage of the pin, restricting where the king can go. 660. Similar pattern to an earlier puzzle. We need to dangle a carrot in front of the king to force him down into a pin where he doesn't want to go, which inadvertently removes the checkmate defender from this square, so the queen can come in and follow up for checkmate. 661. I'm not sure what the name of this idea is, but I'm just going to call it a file sacrifice because that makes the most sense to me. This H file, we want to open it. We want to do a sacrifice. We sacrifice the knight, doing a file sacrifice so we can come in with the rook. 662. We sack the rook to open up the H file here. King must take, decoy sacrifice, so we can come in with the queen here for checkmate. 663. Hopefully after the last puzzle, you solve this one instantly. We sack the rook, king must take, and we follow up with our other rook for checkmate. We've opened up the file. 664. Whenever you see the bishop here restricting the king, it's just begging for you to do a file sacrifice. We sacrifice the knight here, open up the H file so we can slide on over with our rook. 665. We got to open up another file here. Knight sacrifices on a6, file sacrifice, pawn takes, queen slides over there for checkmate. 666. We want the rook and the knight to swap places. How do we do this? We play knight to g6, file sacrifice, pawn takes, rook comes in the back here, and what I like to call a drunken opera mate. She's one square off. 667. Bishop stopping the king, so we just got to put one of our rooks up here for checkmate. If you do this one, it doesn't work because after the bishop blocks, you don't have checkmate on the next move. So you just got to play this rook up first, removing the checkmate defender from this square, and then the rook can come in for checkmate there. 668. The king is suffocated by the bishop. We want to play our drunken opera mate sort of theme here. Problem is, knight's in the way. So we play a clearance sacrifice. We get rid of the knight with check. That would be checkmate, so the rook has to take. And then we come in for our drunken opera mate. 669. Fifth time through, and I still got this one wrong. I played rook d4 check here in my mind, because after king takes, checkmate there. And the problem is, when this bloody king moves, it's check over here, so it just ruins all my fun. The actual answer is rook f5. Defended by the knight. Rook takes, we've removed the piece defender over here. We come in with the knight, checkmating the king here, and restricting where it can run away, helping out with the bishop. Sorry about missing my video last week to everyone who stuck around. I was just way too sad after hearing about Danya, and I couldn't pretend to be happy. I'm usually pretty happy and positive in these videos, quite motivational, so it was just impossible to fake that, and I didn't want to. So I took a break last week. I'm sorry everyone in the chess world for your loss. He was a great human. I haven't even met him. I've just studied from him for hundreds of hours, and, you know, even just that was enough to make me cry. So I cannot even imagine the pain the family and close friends are going through. I just wanted to say it's okay to grieve over someone you never met, because it's incredibly sad when they are such an incredible human. Sorry everyone for your loss. Just thought I'd quickly touch on that. I didn't want to make a video or anything on it because, you know, I'm not the guy. I didn't actually get to be in his presence, but he was an incredible human. But yeah, I'll see you all next week.